Happy Tuesday, everyone. We'll get started here in about 3 minutes. Feel free to grab a friend while you're waiting and sign in as well, please. It's in the chat. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It is 3 o'clock and I'm ready to get started. Woohoo! Last day of April. Tomorrow starts my birthday month. How many of you also have a birthday in May? Type in the chat window. We are going to learn today all about discovery education, spotlight on strategies. For those of you that are new to our webinars and are not quite sure how to navigate through and type in the chat window, thank you, Jarina. Let me just walk you through that real quick. So, one second. So here I am at the weeklywebinars.palmbeachschools.org website. Here is our video. So if I click play, that YouTube link will pop up in that corner. And so if I click that link, it'll go to the YouTube player where the chat will appear on the right. Make sure you choose live chat or you may miss some things. The other thing that you are going to definitely want to know is how to make this look clear so you can watch what I'm doing. The way to do that is in the bottom right corner, click on that gear, go to quality and go to 720p. That will clear everything up for you and enable you to be able to follow along and pay attention. So there we go. Hopefully that helps you out. We're going to get started here learning all about Discovery SOS, which is Spotlight on Strategies. Gail isn't able to be here with us today, but I am Melissa Matthews, and I am from the Department of Educational Technology. And we are going to have some fun learning Discovery SOS. So here we go. What in the world is SOS? So SOS stands for Spotlight on Strategies. They are great tools to make your teachings more engaging and more exciting. It works with every grade level, every discipline, every subject, everything, no matter what you're doing, even if it's a team meeting or a staff meeting or what have you, stick those SOS strategies in to just build that engagement and excitement in your classroom or in your workspace so that you have that additional level of engagement. So Discovery Education got together and said, you know what, we teach so much, but how do we spin it so that we get our students more actively participating in our teachings? So the way they did that was they actually invited a select group of people over to one of the lead people at Discovery's house. They all sat for a week and they created SOS strategies. So many of these strategies were created or developed there that week. And what they did was not only did they make a PDF step-by-step guide how to follow the SOS strategies, but they made a video to go along with it. They've also broken it down to make it so that it's specific to a skill that you are trying to teach. So without further ado, let's go live and learn about Discovery Education. So if I escape out of here and I go to my district portal, I can type in DISC for Discovery Education, and I can find the Discovery Education tile. If I right click, I can add it to my favorites. Mine's already added, so mine says remove, but you're welcome to add it to your favorites. Your favorites look like this. So it's that bottom row there, and there's all my favorites. So I can go ahead and click Discovery Education. That will log me in to the program. Once I'm logged in, all the links in Blender will work. All the links everywhere will work. So Discovery Education will be your best friend. I encourage you to log in first thing every morning. It will make your usability within Discovery Education that much easier. Also, I would be remiss if I did not point out the 3M Young Scientist Challenge. The winner for grade 5 through 8 will earn $25,000, which is quite a bit of money, especially for a middle school child or elementary middle school child. So it's very, very cool. I highly encourage you to participate. It is very challenging. They get quite a bit of submissions, so keep that in mind. But if you have a scientist in your school, family, what have you, that is just dynamic, please have them complete this challenge, and hopefully they'll win. How cool would it be if Palm Beach won? Woohoo! So in the top right corner under search, we're going to type SOS and enter, and it's going to come up with all of the spotlight on strategies. So I always immediately click to that orange button there that says view strategies by skill. So let's go ahead and click that. And when I do, it's spinning. You can see at the top. It will take me to the SOS page. Now, Mackerel International is a very world-renowned company that basically evaluated all of the SOS strategies to make sure that they were educationally sound ways to present material. And you can learn more by clicking that button to determine, what they found. But they did find that every single SOS strategy was highly effective in the classroom. So there you go. If you look, there are 3 for each one. So they've broken it up into assessment, cites evidence, compare and contrast, inference and prediction, questioning. I won't read them all. And then you can see that there are 3 showing, but in the bottom right corner, there's that view all button. So if we view all, we're going to see that there are a million different SOS strategies for cites evidence. So for example, AEIOU, if I click on that, each one is going to have, like I said, a video that talks you through how to perform the AEIOU SOS strategy. And each one, like I said, is made by a different Den community person. This one is Tara Lee. She's got the best accent. So if you can ever listen to this, I would definitely recommend it just for her accent. No, I'm joking. She's just a great person. So I would look into that. So AEIOU, basically, as you get as you're listening to either a reading or a lesson or a video or whatever it is that you're watching, you are going to have the 5 different AEIOU letters to engage your audience. For example, so you might pre-hand out a sheet of paper, or maybe you'd use Google Classroom or whatever your medium is. And when they find an adjective to describe your lesson, video, story, what have you, they would write that down for the A. The emotion that they're feeling would be the E. What they found interesting would be the I. Oh, something that they shocked them maybe would be the O. And I have a question. How did you do that? That would be your U. So this is just one. And as you can see, I don't care what grade you teach. I don't care who you work with. I don't care what your subject is. This can work with pretty much anything, whether you're doing a scientific experiment, whether you just read a chapter in a story, doesn't matter. This can fit. So this is citing evidence, proving to me that you were paying attention, that you were following along, that you were engaged, you have an active response that needs to be completed. So this specific one was AEIOU, and you saw that the PDF version is there. If I just want to look at the transcript, here's my transcript for the story. And it does change as you follow along. So you can see that bold's changing. There it is. Several times. Each time you pause, allow about a minute or so. So it's going to go through. And you can see also I can have that closed captioning turned on or off. I highly suggest you have, whenever you're showing a video, closed captioning turned on. It definitely puts, just like the face with the name, it puts the word with the spelling. So I highly suggest that you have those closed captionings on whenever humanly possible. Okay, so that is AEIOU. If we were to go back, there you can see there's half a story, 6-word story, get many with it, that sums it up, get a clue, 20 questions, fake book. All of these are really, really great SOS strategies that you can use for cites evidence, or you can use for whatever works for you. So this is all that one category. And if we go back, you're going to see that we have all sorts of other additional categories. So one of my favorites is 3 truths and a lie. So with 3 truths and a lie, you write up 4 things on the board before you start teaching. Throughout your teachings, you are going to have the kids figure out what the truths are and what the lie is. Now, I oftentimes flip it. So I have 3 lies and a truth. And I want my students to not only find all 4 things, I want evidence as to why it's a truth or a lie. And if it's a lie, I want them to change it so that they tell me why the lie is false and how to make it true. So another idea, you can always spin these around. 3 truths and a lie is, I forget what category this was. Let's see. We went back for a second at spinning. 3 truths and a lie was key ideas and details. It can really be anything you want it to be. Anytime you're about to teach, throw 4 things up on the board and see what happens with the participation and the amount of engaged learning that happens in your classroom. So that is your 3 truths and a lie. Snowball Fight is a huge winner. Snowball Fight, you play a movie, for example, or read a sentence or two in a book or what have you, and the kids have a sheet of loose leaf paper. They write a fact. They crumble it up. They throw it. Whoever catches it has to read that fact, write a comment on it, and wait. They then watch the next part of the story. They write a fact on their snowball, on their sheet of paper, crumble it up, throw it, rinse, repeat, right? So they just keep throwing those snowballs. It gets them out of their seat. It gets them active. It gets them participating. They have to be knowledgeable about what you are teaching so that they have an ability to be responsive in their snowball fight. They said, what? PMI, paper slide videos, one of my all-time favorites. I've done webinars on only paper slide videos. Paper slide videos basically are, we know, and I know I've said this before in this group, we know that if a student is able to reteach what you just taught them, they have achieved mastery of that topic. So for a paper slide video, and I'm going to press play and I'm going to kind of move to the middle here. And there we go. So that was perfect timing. So basically they are reteaching what you just taught. So for this one, it is the life cycle of maybe a caterpillar, for example. They're going to draw it out, speak to it, and explain what happens in the life cycle of a butterfly, caterpillar, what have you. Again, you can have the paper slider, the narrator, the director. You can have all sorts of different jobs, if you will, for this specific activity so that all 3 people or more are engaged. You could have one person do it on their own. You can have it in groups of 2, 3, whatever you'd like. It is a great way to determine mastery of a topic. The other way I suggest is that video recording using Screencastify, which is not an SOS strategy, but I thought I'd just throw it out there as well. So SOS strategies are amazing. I hope you will use them. Telephone also, it's just like the game. I learn something, I tell someone, I tell someone, I tell someone. And then by the time it gets to the end, let's see what actually happens. So it all depends upon the knowledge of your students. I actually had that telephone game kind of backfire on me once. I had it where the kid said the, steps, let's say the scientific method, to the first person, and then the second person, first person said it to the second said it to the third said it to the fourth said it to the fifth incorrectly. Fifth said it to the sixth and corrected it. So it was actually interesting how it changed, and then it got back to correct. So pretty neat how they can correct each other, huh? So tons of different ones. I know that you're probably seeing how these are repeating in certain areas because there is that crossover from the SOS strategies fitting in multiple categories. There is one, the surround sound, where you play a sound and the kids students, whomever, has to determine what that sound is. There's another where you just post a picture and they have to draw a story on the picture. So tons of different things that you can use those SOS strategies for. I highly suggest you take a few minutes to read through some more of these and utilize them within your school and your classroom and your job. 4 corners is also used quite a bit. Who chose which answer, basically, go to that corner. Trying to look for others. The music video one is awesome. It's Lodge McCammon writes educational songs and then they act it out. in a music video, which is so cool. And it only takes an hour. I know you're thinking these kids are going to make a music video. It's going to be a week. It only takes an hour, and there's a video on how to produce it. So that is pretty cool. Vocabulary scavenger hunt is awesome. Tons of different stuff. So take some time, go through here and see what you can discover. We're going to go back to my presentation. Present. So I feel like I'm forgetting things, but I definitely went over Discovery SOS strategies. So let's move on. May 25th, all homework is due. There is one more class on creativity and communication. Oh, good, Nikki. I'm glad this was helpful. Yeah, because this is definitely like, I don't know if in the school settings, but up here, we're supposed to start most trainings with a welcoming ritual and end with an optimistic closure. So a lot of these could be used for those as well, which is nice. Okay, so your homework is due May 25th. You must do the survey once for the semester. You must be in attendance, not necessarily live, but in attendance. You need to watch the whole video in order to get points. And YouTube actually tracks that, which is really nice for me. And the implementation homework, you need to take a picture of something that you learned in this webinar. So maybe you using an SOS strategy. Pictures have to be taken after the webinar. So please don't use something I already shared during, or you can use it, but use it after 3:30, please. And all homework must be submitted via ELM, not through email. I can't accept anything through email. It must be in ELM. And hopefully that helps you. And that is all. Thank you so much for attending. I know we're done a little bit early. I don't think anybody would complain. You got the same amount of information, so you're okay. Please, please, please complete this form for me. This tells us how we're doing, what you learned. The question that asks if you need additional help from me, that means you personally want me to come to your classroom and help you with whatever specific thing you need that I just taught. Thank you, Miss Barney. So if you need me to come to your room, please fill it out. I'm happy to do so. But if not, please mark a no. More webinars are coming, so you don't need to mark yes for that. And that's all for today. Thank you so much. Any questions, go ahead, type them in. Otherwise, that's all. We're done early. I think I talked too quick. Hopefully you guys understood and got some good information. Happy Tuesday. And if there's any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat window.